Hi, Midlands Metalheads Radio. We're here at the HRH 12 Festival up in North Wales, and I'm pleased to say that we've got with us Myke Gray and Kimberly and Janet.
Hey.
How are you both? Just come off stage?
Yes.
How did it go?
Well, I mean, festivals are always, you never know what's going to happen, and there's always something that goes wrong. So, for instance, tonight, Adam, the other guitar player, for half of the set, he had no guitar. So he literally had nothing. So, and of course, you're not aware of that when you're going on because you're just doing your own stuff, you know. So you there's always something, you know. But the main thing is you just go out and you give the best you can. You know, you have to remember, yesterday was our first rehearsal, and so for us to go on and do what we did, I could not have asked for more. It was spectacular. And
you mentioned 4 hours.
Yeah.
You had yesterday to rehearse.
That was it.
Yeah,
that is it.
Yeah,
and this young lady here, who's now is she a permanent member now? That
I mean, the thing with
Phil?
with my work as a solo artist, you know, it gives me freedom to work with different people at different times, and most singers, good singers, are in various projects, you know, so. At different times I will work with different people. At the moment I'm writing and producing an album for Kimberly.
Right.
You know, so you know, I heard Kimberly on a Facebook clip, and as soon as I heard her voice, it was like, oh my God, this is like one of the best singers I've ever heard. You know, regardless, you know, of any genre. And then we kind of got together, and Kimberly sung on the video of Take Me Home. And we've been writing and recording. So our relationship, our musical relationship has been bubbling under, even though I've been working with other people.
Yeah.
And so then the circumstances became right. Phil was doing stuff with Blackwater Communion, Conspiracy.
Yeah.
And Kimberly was available and wanted to do it. So for me, it's like a dream, you know, a privilege. You know, like I say, for me, Kimberly's one of the best singers in the world. It's just a amount of time for the world to realise it.
Well, it's down on record at the moment,
yeah. So to stand on stage and hear her sing is incredible.
What is your background then, Kimberly? What sort of music did you grow up with?
I mean, I started doing musical theatre. That's how I got into doing music. Like, I did performing, and I was in a play where I had to learn how to sing, and I taught myself how to sing for it. And then I started playing guitar, and then I put the two and two together, and then I started playing in bands, and yeah, I'm in a band called Voodoo Blood as well. We're playing tomorrow, actually.
So you're the voodoo woman.
I'm
then,
the voodoo
as such.
woman.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my other persona,
Yeah.
I guess. My other stage persona
Yeah.
is the voodoo woman. Yeah, we're playing here tomorrow as well. But yeah, just beginning really. This is kind of the start of my career, I guess. Like this is the first big festival really that I've done. I mean, I did Bloodstock with Voodoo Blood last year, but this is the beginning.
And
you
in
know?
a couple of weeks time, we go on tour with Black Star Riders.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll just keep building and keep, you know,
step by step. Yeah. Now, we offered you a bag of sweets just before the interview, and you said you don't eat
I'm
sugar.
veggie,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah,
Are you still doing your, I won't say martial arts, I'd degrade it slightly, but are you still doing...
Yeah, I do lots of stuff. I do a lot of
things
stuff.
that you
I'm a
did before?
nutritionist, I'm a martial art instructor, I'm a personal trainer, life coach. I get, you know, health and fitness is a big part of my life and has been for a very long time.
Yeah.
You know, and it funds music.
Because there's no money in music.
Well, I mean, it's tough.
If you're in the wrong deal.
You know, it's tough, you know, at the beginning, you know, so the music industry has changed from when I began, you know, but even if you dissect it, I mean, I remember when we got signed to Parlophone, we had $100,000 advance.
Is it Skin now?
Yeah, Skin,
Yeah.
which sounds like a lot of money. But when your manager takes 20% off the top, that leaves you with 80. Then you split it between four band members, that's $20,000 a year. You know, and then out of that you've got to pay for rehearsals and stuff like that. So it sounds like a load of money, and it's got to last you a year until you get any more.
Yeah.
You know, so business acumen is something that I've had to learn over the years, and so when it comes to recording albums and making videos, no one's going to look after the budget better than me. And fortunately, I have a career which enables me to fund it better than a small label would. You know, so I would rather take control of it and then hand it over to someone who's worthy of taking it, rather than just signing a crappy little deal, hand over all your work, nothing happens after a month, and you've thrown a 1.5 years of work away. So, but it's taken me a long time to get to this position to understand how to run it logistically.
Yeah. Are you still including some of the old Skin tracks?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, with I'm sorry to keep talking.
I know it's fine.
You know, with the project that is Myke Gray, it's very much about music that I've written for Jagged Edge, music I've written for Skin, music I've written for Red, White and Blues, and different singers will blend to different songs. You know, and if opportunities come around like Download and Stillhouse Festival and Hard Rock Hell, where people just want to hear us play some rock and roll, then I'll put things together, and if people love it, then we'll do it. But my real passion in life is working with singers and creating music for their voices. I did it in Skin, I did it in Red, White and Blues, and at this moment in time, my total commitment is creating an album for Kimberly, because at this moment in time I think she's the best singer in the country, and you know, I just want to help her get where she deserves to be.
Do you have your own record label as such?
Yeah, I mean that's a relatively easy thing to do. It's not like a big deal. Once you own the masters and you have the recordings, you just print them up, and you know, now bands are a lot more aware. Back in the day, it was like, oh, a record company, you know, but when you actually then understand what they do, it's not that hard. You know, you print it up, you print them up, you sell them. Yeah. You know, with my solo album, we printed up 1,000 copies. I think there's about 50 copies left, and it paid for the entire recording process, all the marketing and everything that went with it.
Is that on pre-orders?
Yeah, pre-orders, and you know, it sells on iTunes, it sells on Spotify. That's my advice to bands, is actually take it to a level yourself, because the handful of managers that are good enough, people like Rod Smallwood, people like Peter Mensch, people like Sharon Osbourne, the really good ones, you're better off holding out for them than have someone who's crap and throw it all away.
And have a big bill around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was the next question, actually. I was just going to say, what advice would you give to any up-and-coming bands, singers?
Well, you know, I've had many of these talks with artists over the years. Is the thing that is the most important is the songs. Spend your time writing the songs. Spend your time making a recording that people are going to want to listen to in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Bands are so anxious to get out and make something. You go and see Bryan Adams, they're listening to songs that were recorded 30 years ago. Metallica, songs that were recorded 20 years ago. Led Zeppelin. It's the quality of the album and the songs are what's going to give you a longevity in career.
True.
Focus on that. Spend a year writing songs before you even do a gig. You know, get those 10 or 12 songs. Adele is a perfect example. She recorded one album, she toured for 4 years. Made a second album, toured for another 4 years. She could go all over the world and book shows on 2 albums. Yep. You know, don't rush it. Just work on the songs.
Talking of albums, have you got a date in mind for the release of your work at the moment?
Well, we're thinking maybe next year sometime. I can't say a date yet. We don't really know, but maybe like springtime next year.
Yeah, so, that's realistic.
We played one of the songs off the album tonight, actually. Yeah, I love like Suicide. I think it went down really well. So,
is this going to have any effect on your work with Voodoo Blood?
No, I mean, I'm pretty committed to just music in general. So I'll put all of my time into music, whatever that is, and I absolutely love doing this stuff with Myke. I think it's great, and I love recording this album, and I've been able to balance it pretty well at the minute.
In today's world, if you take someone like Miles Kennedy, he sings for Slash, he has his own solo career, and he has Alter Bridge. Because of the way that the music industry has changed, it's good for artists and singers in particular to integrate with other artists, you know, to help reach their audiences. Lizzie Howe is a perfect example. She's sung with many, many people.
Yeah.
You've just got to get out there to as many people as you can. I think it's incredibly short-sighted of artists not to work with other musicians, because just working with musicians makes you grow. So I thoroughly recommend it, and it just opens up more avenues.
So have you got any new music in the pipeline yourself then, Myke?
At this moment in time, my every waking moment is thinking about 10 and 12 songs for Kimberly that will kickstart her career.
Myke, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very, very much indeed for your time.
Thank you.
Great to meet you.
I'll catch you again tomorrow with Blue Blood.
Definitely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk and to hear our music.